My name is Nano Namari. I'm 30 years old and I'm working as a wedding planner to help couples from far and wide bring their dreams to life on their special day. Today, I'd like to share a story about how selfishly my little sister acted when I tried to make her happy. I have this little sister called Raina, who is 7 years younger than I am, and the story begins with a sudden message from her.
Hey Nano, I want you to plan for me.
How many times do I have to tell you that you need to be more precise when you talk to people? How am I supposed to know that you want me to plan?
Why can't you take the hint? I'm asking a wedding planner to plan something, then of course it means I want you to plan a wedding for me.
Wedding? Who's getting married?
Me, of course. It's my wedding.
What? Since when have you had a serious boyfriend?
I met him at work.
Work? But you only started working there 3 months ago.
Hooray, bombshell!
Don't brag about it. Who is he?
He's the son of one of the executives at work. Of course that means he's super rich. And one day, he's going to become the CEO of the company, so I'm going to be Mrs. CEO.
Seriously?
What? Are you not frustrated that your little sister's going to get married first?
Of course not. I'm a wedding planner. I've planned weddings for hundreds of couples. The reason I'm so shocked is because I'm wondering if someone like that is actually happy to marry you and spend the rest of their life with you. You hardly know each other.
What's that supposed to mean?
I mean, you're selfish and you change boyfriends at the drop of a hat and more.
I can't help being so popular. I'm adorable.
It's best you don't say that to his face, Raina.
Anyway, you're a really popular wedding planner, aren't you? I've heard so many good things about your work.
Well, yeah, I'm lucky to get a lot of requests from people wanting me to be in charge of their wedding. There are even people waiting in a metaphorical line for me to plan their wedding.
Great! I want you to plan my wedding too.
I told you, I have other people waiting.
Oh, but I have a special power. I have a card that allows me to jump into line because I'm your little sister.
You just activated my trap card. I don't have to listen to you. Barrier!
But why? It's your little sister's big day. Don't you have any pride as a big sister to want to do your best and make me happy?
I told you, I've got other people waiting. I'm sorry, but my schedule's full for the next 3 months. I can't even slip you anywhere in between.
Fine, but I can go over to your house after you're done with work.
What?
My fiancé really wants you to plan the wedding as well. We'll make some time to come and visit you in the early evening when we can. Please. He's really busy with work, but he's willing to make time for you when he can.
I guess I can't say no to that.
Please, pretty please.
Oh, fine, I'll do it.
Yay! This saves us from paying the wedding planner.
Now wait just 1 minute. Since when did I say I would plan your wedding for free?
What? But I'm your little sister. You're going to make me pay? Can't you plan it for me as a special wedding present, free of charge?
Of course not.
What? How can you be so stingy?
If you don't like it, then find someone else.
Fine, I'll pay you. This is so unfair.
No, it's only fair you pay me. Honestly, ever since you were little, you always think it's a matter of course that I pay everything for you. You're an adult now. My sister's selfishness and sense of entitlement isn't anything new. Because of our age gap, I've always considered her my baby sister and have always taken care of her, especially since we've been through thick and thin together. To clarify, our mom was a single parent, and she passed away suddenly when I was in high school. At the time, Raina was still in elementary school. I had decided to be a wedding planner ever since I was little, and I decided to go to a specialist school while working a job in order to fulfill that dream. I managed to save enough to send my sister to college. However, that seemed to instill into her the idea that I would do anything and everything for her, and apparently she still thinks it's a matter of course that I, as the older sister, bend to her will. After she graduated from college, we started living apart, and I hoped even, that would help her gain a sense of independence and make her realise what being an adult meant. But I guess not. Either way, I'm happy that my sister's getting married. I decided that I would use all the experience I had gained up until now as a wedding planner to build the perfect wedding for Raina. But planning a wedding for such a self-absorbed young woman was going to be a lot more difficult than I knew it would be.
I want 2 dresses, both of them custom made, like haute couture. I wanted a lot of red and white roses, lilies. I want the best chef to serve fancy hors d'oeuvres and meals. I want really old wine, champagne, and also that, and this, and that, and that, and that.
What? Stop! Give me a break! I understand that you need to make it the perfect day, but first you need to tell me what your budget is. We can't start without it.
About $10,000.
Are you crazy?
But aren't you the best at what you do?
Yeah, but I'm not a fairy godmother. I can't wave my wand and turn a mouse into a carriage driver.
Then how How much will this cost?
That depends on how many people you invite, but I think you should be prepared to pay at least 50,000.
No way!
Well, the more people you invite, the more it'll cost, okay?
My fiance's gonna be the next CEO. His dad's an executive at the company too, so of course they're gonna have a lot of people there.
If he's got such a future promised him, then he should be willing to spend more on the wedding and have it done properly. What's the problem?
You're just being greedy, Nano, you glutton. You've got to make it so much cheaper. I'm your little sister. I don't want to pay that much.
Oh, don't be such a child. I'll try my best to keep the cost down, okay? But you have to compromise too.
Oh, and I want every detail written down, okay? I'm going to show my fiance all the documents once we're done planning.
What? He's not even going to come and plan with us? Not even once? There are lots of things I want to confirm with him.
I thought I told you he's really busy. Weren't you listening to me at all? Honestly, Nano.
Raina, you're the one who told me he was going to make time to visit, and gave me no choice but to agree to planning the wedding. Anyway, there's no point in trying to make my sister realize the trouble she's causing, so I continued with my preparations for my sister's wedding by getting in touch with my partners on the side, while completing my main project. I've collaborated with some florists and caterers for years, and luckily for me, they were willing to give me a considerable discount once they heard it was for my little sister's big day. I can't thank them enough for their kindness. In the end, I managed to create a wedding with all of my sister's requests, and despite not being able to cut it down to $10,000, I was successful in bringing a $50,000 price tag down to less than half price. I handed my sister a document describing every last detail of the wedding, from flowers to dresses to wedding invitations.
It's a shame that we still couldn't make it $10,000, but I guess this is still reasonable. Good job!
Seriously? You have no idea? Anyway, the plan's finished, but now we can actually move on to putting it into practice. When can you next come over?
Oh yeah, that's fine. Whatever. I'll call you.
Huh? Raina, wait a minute, I'm not done! My sister took the documents and strayed out of the house without looking back. For a week, I waited her to call me, but nothing. Instead, I tried messaging her myself, but there was no reply. For a while after that, there was no contact from my sister, and the date that she'd chosen for her wedding day was just getting closer and closer. I couldn't help but feel nervous about the plans. The next time I heard from my sister, months had gone by, and it was already 3 months from the big day.
Hey, Nana, long time no speak.
Raina, why didn't you call me? I've been so worried. Did your engagement get cancelled? Did you have a fight with him?
No, of course not. We're absolutely in love.
Thank goodness. But why didn't you reply to me? The wedding's only 3 months away and we still haven't done the dress fitting. You haven't even given me the guest list. We've got to get started right away, or you'll have to delay the wedding.
Oh yeah, about that. I've already finished everything.
What?
I've already asked another planner to plan my wedding.
What do you mean? You're gonna have to be more precise.
I mean, I took your plan to another planner, and I'm gonna get them to plan my wedding instead. That way I can save money, because they just have to follow the plan that you write. So I want you to make my wedding based off of this plan.
So you want all this on a $20,000 budget?
You can do that, right?
Well, we'll do our best, but it won't be easy.
I don't mind if you have to remove some details, so long as you keep it under the budget of $20,000. Understood? Great!
Then would it be okay if I contacted you when we have to make change to the plans, so there won't be any surprises?
What? That sounds like a pain in the ass. You don't have to call me, so just do what you have to do, but make sure it's perfect.
Okay. You took the plan I slaved over and gave it to another wedding planner to save money?
Yeah, exactly. I found this beautiful chapel that was built just a few years ago. It's really popular for its amazing interior, as well as the view from outside. To be honest, it's a lot fancier than the place you arranged, and I decided to get married there instead.
Oh, you're unbelievable! How could you do this to me?
Huh? Why are you angry? I didn't do anything wrong. Chill out.
I'm a wedding planner. I'm supposed to be there on your journey until the very last step. How could you do this? I've been removed from planning my own sister's wedding. Nothing could be more embarrassing. Besides, that plan only exists because I was the one that created it. It's impossible for any other planner to recreate the exact same wedding with the budget you set.
Nano, you've really overestimated yourself. Anyone can make the same wedding if they've got all of the details written down.
Then you should wait and see what happens.
It's going to be a beautiful ceremony, so look forward to it. Oh, wait, you're not invited to the wedding, though.
What are you talking about?
Oh my god, how many times do I have to tell you? My fiancé is super rich, handsome, and successful. All of our guests have money, status, and class, too. I belong with them. But you didn't even go to college. You stick out like a sore thumb. I'll be a laughingstock, and that will be so embarrassing.
I didn't go to college, but I went to a specialist school for wedding planners.
Yeah, but that's nothing in comparison to college. I went to college, so I deserve to become part of my fiancé's world.
Oh, that's what you think? Fine, have it your way. Do whatever you like with the plan I made for you, but don't come crying to me when everything goes wrong.
I'm gonna be rich. What could go wrong? If anything, I should be telling you that you can't come begging to me if you have any problems with your money.
I was absolutely devastated by what my sister had done, but I decided to forget about it and get on with my life. That plan would be my wedding present to her, though it wouldn't be much use if I wasn't there to follow it through. I could imagine how the ceremony would turn out on the big day if she had set the budget to the ridiculous price she would likely demand, but I couldn't care less. On the day of the wedding, as I expected, I got a panicked call from my little sister on the big day.
Nano, you've got to help me!
Who might you be?
My wedding is ruined!
Yeah, I know. And who are you?
Listen to this, my dress isn't...
Why should I care?
Why did you hang up on me?
I can't believe you actually have the nerve to call me.
I'm sorry, but anyway, you've got to do something. It's terrible.
What? Are flowers wilting? Is food tasteless? Are the drinks flat? And is your dress a rag?
How did you know?
Because I'm a wedding planner.
Because the chapel promised to send a senior officiant to handle the ceremony, but instead we got some new guy that was even more nervous than we were because it was his first day. One of the waiters spilt wine all down my dress, and it made an awful stain. The food was disgusting and we only got flat champagne. All the guests were whispering that they had never been to such a cheap wedding venue before. My husband got really upset and asked me how I could have failed him with the budget he gave me.
Oh, really? And?
This is completely different from what we talked about. None of the things I requested have been followed. I bet you just made some random plan because I'm your sister. How could you?
Did you forget what I told you? The plan only exists because I was the one that created it. I don't know how much you told them your budget was, but the only reason I managed to offer you a $20,000 option was because the services I were working at was willing to give me a discount, and a considerable one at that.
Why didn't you tell me that sooner? You lied to me.
It's not like I wanted to make you feel like you really owed me. I thought you could take the hint.
But I never thought the quality would be so different. Why has everything gone wrong?
The venue and officiant. Those things are more important than you think. I was going to rearrange for a professional I've trusted and worked with for over 5 years to handle your wedding, you know. If you'd at least chosen a decent venue, I think you might have turned out a bit better. But I guess you didn't check the comments properly. Did you know that the chapel you chose does look beautiful in photographs, but it's got the worst ratings in the city once you check its page online?
What?
Apparently, they make beginner-level mistakes on a daily basis, and they almost never get the menu right. The drinks they offer are often leftover champagne from previous weddings. In the wedding planner world, everyone knows to stay clear of that chapel, so DIY couples tend to get caught by the wonderful photos.
I chose it because it was cheap.
Haven't you heard of the phrase, get one's money worth?
That's too difficult for me to understand.
You went to college, Raina.
Anyway, I want you to apologise to me.
What? Why should I?
In the end, it's your fault for not watching over the wedding plans until the very end. Why didn't you keep contact with me?
And it was my intention to stay with you until the very end, but you just took the plan I made out of my hands and left it to some third-rate chapel just so you could save money. And for your information, I called you about 50 billion times. Why did you want to place that cheap in the first place? You were boasting about how rich your fiancé is, so I didn't think that he would have been stingy about costs.
Raina, did you finally get in contact with your sister?
Wait, Yuto, I'm telling her everything now.
Give it to me. I'll talk to her myself.
Wait!
Hello? Is this Raina's older sister, the wedding planner? I can't believe you! You don't show up to your own sister's wedding, and you ruin it with an absolutely pathetic idea of a wedding plan? Because of you, our wedding is an absolute mess! I hope you're happy with yourself!
Excuse me? Oh, you must be Raina's fiancé. I'm sorry, but...
How much do you think I spent on this wedding? $100,000! Down the drain! Because you didn't plan our wedding properly!
$100,000?
Wait, Yuto, please, let's forget about the money right now. This is our wedding!
How can I? That money was for our wedding! I'm warning you, I'm going to take you to court for scamming us!
If you're going to take someone to court, then you'd better take Raina instead.
What did you just say?
What did you say your name was? Yuto? It's true that I was the one that created the plans for you and Raina's wedding. However, that plan was taken out of my hands in the early stages and taken to the chapel you're at now. I haven't been involved in the actual setting of the wedding for at least 6 months. My little sister wanted to get off with paying as little as possible, so she ignored my calls and chose a cheaper venue without my knowledge.
What? I don't understand.
I explained everything that happened between Raina and I to the groom. In the beginning, he refused to believe me, thinking that I was just making up lies to escape responsibility. But he soon realised that the story I was telling him was just too well made. Of course, since it isn't made up at all. The final straw was the fact that he had paid $100,000 only to be left with that sorry excuse of a wedding ceremony, and he finally believed that I wasn't lying. I could tell without him announcing that he believed me, and he finally berated Raina for trying to drown out my voice with her pleas, and judging by the scuffle and the sound of the door being slammed shut, he had locked her up in a room so she couldn't interfere with our conversation.
So, this was all Raina's fault? She lied to both of us?
I'm very sorry for all the trouble my little sister has caused you.
No, I'm sorry. I thought that it was strange that you weren't going to attend Raina's wedding because you had work. To think that she didn't invite you. Unbelievable.
Yes, I know.
Raina, she mentioned that you had paid for all of her school and college fees. I can't believe she could be so ungrateful.
The second he said that, I could hear the door being slammed from somewhere in the background.
Yuto, I don't know what you're talking about with my sister, but you really shouldn't believe her.
Raina!
My sister's a pathological liar. Why do you think she's single at 30? She just wants attention to whoever will give it to her. She never really went to college either. She's just jealous that her little sister's getting married before she does. It explains everything.
Then just tell me one thing. I transferred $100,000 to your account for the wedding fees. According to your sister, the actual cost of the wedding was $25,000. What happened to the rest of the money I gave you?
The wedding really did cost $100,000.
All right. Then how about we check with the people in charge of this chapel and have them show us an invoice? Tell me the truth, Raina!
Well, the thing is...
At that moment...
Hey, Raina! How long are you going to keep me waiting? The wedding should have finished ages ago! Hurry up and come spend that fortune of yours at my club! How many times do I have to tell you that today's the deadline for you to pay your tab?
Shinya, what are you doing here?
Huh? Crap, was this a bad time?
Even over the phone I could tell the atmosphere had frozen over with the appearance of a stranger named Shinya. It had seemed that the man had tried to run away but had been grabbed by the arm by Yuto before he could escape.
And who are you, Shinya? If I judge by the way you're dressed, you must be a host from a club downtown. Hey, I'm sorry, man. I didn't do anything. I just came because Raina called me. That's all.
What? I don't know this man. I swear I don't know him.
Oh, really? You don't know him? Then I guess I can call the police and have him arrested for trespassing. Raina, you're going to sell me to the cops? You're the one that said you wanted me to come and collect you because you would have a fortune to spend once the wedding was over. I won't forget this. Oh, everything makes sense now. All the money I handed to you for expenses up until now, you were spending it on this idiot.
Wait, Yuto, no, it's not like that. Please just listen to me.
Yeah, I'll listen. I want to hear everything you have to say about your behavior. But I'll have to bring my lawyer with me.
A lawyer? What for?
You not only betrayed your older sister, who was practically a mother to you, but you also cheated me out of money that I thought I was going to be spending on our wedding, and instead handed it all over to this host. I can't marry you. Someone take this woman away. I don't even want to look at her.
Yuto, wait, Yuto, no, please, stop!
Raina's big sister? I'm sorry. Raina always referred to you as her big sister, so I never caught your name.
My name is Nano. I'm sincerely sorry for everything that's happened because of my sister. You must be so frustrated.
You don't have to apologize, Nano. Raina kept on telling me that she wanted to make our wedding day a surprise for me, and insisted on planning it by herself. I shouldn't have left it all to her. If you'd let me, I'd like to visit so I can apologize to you in person.
After that, Yuto really did come all the way to my house to apologize, and with perfect timing, my little sister called my phone.
Nano, what is this? I got a bill for cancellation fees.
It's the cancellation fee for the venue I'd been holding down for the wedding while I was still your wedding planner.
But why do I have to pay the cancel fees?
You're the one that suddenly changed wedding planners without telling me.
But I can't afford this. I don't have enough money to cover it.
Oh yeah, since you had to return the entire 100,000 you owe to Yuto, right?
Why do you know about that?
Because I just told her.
What? Yuto, what are you doing with my sister?
What do you think? I'm here to apologize for the trouble she went through. But this is a great chance for me to tell you that my lawyer's writing up the divorce papers and documents for the compensation I'm going to demand.
Divorce? You're not serious about that, are you?
I'm not paying a single cent for the wedding ceremony, and I'm going to demand enough compensation to cover all of the necessary expenses you took from me. So prepare yourself!
No, you're there, aren't you? You've got to say something, please!
And so, Raina had no choice but to accept Yuto's demand for a divorce, and was charged for the cancellation fees, the wedding fees, and compensation all in one go. She ended up shouldering a debt that surpassed $100,000 and was stuck with paying it off. In preparation for her life as Mrs. CEO, Raina had already resigned from her job, and when she tried to get it back, it turns out she hadn't been a very good employee to begin with, so they refused her application to the company. But she's still young, so it wasn't hard for her to find a full-time job elsewhere. The only catch was she didn't have much money to spare for herself at the end of each month because of the massive debt she owed. My sister is quite the spending addict, and she couldn't handle that sort of life, instead of choosing to work at a club not long after she finally got employed.
I'm a better player than night, so I've got to make sure I stay stylish. Oh, I love this designer bag. I'm probably going to make a lot of money anyway, so tap, and it's mine.
However, because of her ignorance, it seems that she'll be underestimating the severity of working at a club.
You bitch! You stole my client! Who the hell do you think you are?
I hear that she violated several unspoken rules about the club, and ended up forbidden from entering any hostess club in the city.
What do? I don't have a job, or any money.
Hey! You better have my money ready today, Raina!
Please just give me a few more days.
I'm not waiting anymore. If you don't have any money, then you'll have to work. Come here!
No, please let me go. I'll pay it, I swear.
I don't know where she is or what she's doing now. As for me, I became close with a man I met at work, and we've recently started dating. I'm in love and so happy with my life. I hope that one day I can enjoy the journey of planning my own wedding day and have the big day of my dreams.